Welcome to My The Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. First off, I'd like to say thank you to all the support that we've been getting on TikTok, as well as Instagram, and Spotify. We're now on Spotify. As you can see, we kind of added one on there. We're now on Spotify, so if you guys are on the go, in the car, at work, whatever the case may be, you could still catch the podcast on Spotify. All I ask is that you rate the podcast, however you want to rate it, rate the podcast, and go ahead and download. We've already reached 100 downloads so far, which is crazy to me. It's a huge number. And I didn't think I was going to reach that number that fast, but we did. So it's super awesome. So keep putting up the support. I appreciate everything. But yes, all the things that we have here are at the URL here. I know on the last video, the audio was kind of messed up. We went ahead and fixed that. Like I said, I'm kind of on a new system, so I'm figuring things out. But the audio should be good. Everything should be good and set back to normal for this week. And I know I fucked it up. I was pointing at the wrong things, but hopefully you guys understood what I was trying to say. But yeah, we'll figure that out. But today's topic is, why did you smash once and never go back? All right, let's see. She grabbed my throat and choked the shit out of me and told me she loved me. Never gone so soft so fast. First time meeting her. Wow. Yeah, see, that's something you're gonna have to have a conversation about, because I don't want you to just start choking the shit out of me. Like, that's kind of ridiculous. And then she's like, I love you. I mean, maybe she's like, I love the D. Maybe that's what she's kind of going for. I hope, because that would be a little awkward. She's like, I love you, and this is the first time we met and smashed, and all right, well, okay. Pulled away before I got too close. The smell alone and the threat that it might stick to me meant I split. Once her zipper came down, I caught a whiff. Pants reached her knees, and I was running out the door. Oh, damn, her coochie was stinking. Wow. That's terrible. Like, did she not take a shower? She got ooh, something's going on right there. Oh no, he was my boss, and I'm pretty sure he stole my necklace before morning came. I know I had it on that night, then poof. Her boss finessed her. Her boss finessed her. Her boss was just like, I smashed and stole her necklace. Damn, man. How you get finessed by your boss? That's fucked up. D game was trash. Simple as that. Yeah, man, it's long out here for a guy. You know, your D game is trash, and a lot of times you don't know. You don't know. Like we did the previous episode. You know, you think you doing everything. You know, you hitting the DJ hero right. You getting the 5 stars, and you're not. You're trash, bro. You're trash, and it sucks. It sucks, especially when you're that type of dude that talks a big game, and then you show up with some whack dick, and then they're like, really? This was it? This was all that build up was leading to? Man, fuck out of here with that. She was out of my league but wanted a baby daddy and knew I had a good job. What the fuck till the sun came up. We both decided we go separate ways. She changed her mind and kept calling me. Okay. All right. She wanted a child that bad? Just because she knew homeboy had a good job, she was just like, yeah, if you got a good job, yep, I want that. Okay. invited themselves over to spend the night at my house after the first night at theirs. Not to mention, for more than one day, that indefinite clinginess ruined my participation of them. Many regrets, wasn't even worth the trouble. Damn. That must suck to just, like, you meet somebody, you think everything's going smooth, and then they're just clingy right off the bat. And they're inviting themselves over, and they always want to hang out with you. It's like, motherfucker, do you have a life? Are you doing something? Because I need my space. Like, shit. Oh, shit. They bought Coke before we smashed. Okay. Damn. Wow. Okay. Moving on. She had a great body, was sweet, and really liked to get it on. The deed was repeated from about 3 a.m. to well after dawn, but no spark beyond that. The night before, she made no secret she wanted to get me back to her place. I looked back on it now and could have called her. This man was regretting it. Probably in the moment, he was like, oh, she ain't all that. But then later on, he was probably like, oh, he was probably missing them walls. That's what it was. He was missing that coochie. Yeah, that's what it was. He was missing that coochie. He was like, man, that coochie was bomb. And then I felt like I didn't, nothing was there. And now he's like, damn, I missed that coochie. I should have kept her around. Like, you fucked up, bro. You fucked up. This girl I met at a party told me she's having a... Okay, she met at a party. She's told me she's having a party. And weirdly enough, it was just me and her all night long. She said the others were just running late. She tried to initiate, but I just got out of the train wreck of a relationship. Had to yeet out of her place and never come back. Okay, I don't see what's wrong with that one. I mean, I think it was a whole setup of one of those things where, how friends will invite two people out and then all of a sudden everybody can't make it up or can't make it. And then those two friends are just, or those two people, I guess, are forced to be alone because the friends know that they like them. Maybe she was pulling one of those. I don't know. I probably would have smashed because she initiated. I'd have just been like, cool. Maybe she wasn't attractive enough. I don't know. I probably still would have took it down. Ain't gonna lie to you. I probably would have just took it down and then left. Because it's like, bro. But I guess he was like, it was a train wreck of a relationship. So maybe she wanted to be boyfriend, girlfriend. And he was like, nah, deuces. I don't know. Let's see. The guy I'd been fuck buddies with apparently admired me so much, he had screenshots of the sex tape we took hung on his walls. He would jerk off to them when we weren't fucking. After I cut contact with him, I found out more about him that freaked me out even more. After I cut contact with him, I found out that he stalked me to the point where he found out my mom's phone number and harassed her and pressured her to let him talk to me even after we both agreed to end things. He didn't agree. Nah, he was just telling you what you wanted to hear. That's what it was. He even went out of his way to mail me a bag of his belongings, like used underwear, saying, "This is the underwear I came in while thinking of you." Yo, what? What kind of crack is this man smoking? What the fuck? This all happened half a year ago, and I got a restraining order against him a few weeks after that. He almost ruined my current healthy relationship that I got into a couple months ago. My current boyfriend told me a few days ago that a man attempted to strangle him while holding a knife to him on the street screaming, "Where is she, huh? Why'd you steal her from me, you fat cunt?" Thank God a couple of security men heard him from the club across the street, or else what would have happened to him if he hadn't stopped? After the incident, he came home shaken and almost crying with a couple of policemen outside. The policemen had offered to drive him home to keep him safe, and I had him stay at my house. I could see his neck was red and bruised, and his eyes couldn't meet mine. I tried talking to him, but the police stopped me and told me everything that happened. It's been a couple of days since this happened, and my boyfriend is quiet. I don't know what to do to fix it, and my best friend is helping me file a police report on this man. Yo, this dude is wild. They were just fuck buddies. He fell in love, I ain't gonna lie to you, to the point where he was screenshotting and printing pictures of the sex tapes they were making or whatever. He had them hanging on his wall. He was beating his meat to him. And then she's like, "Oh, no, I'm good, da-da-da." And he's like, "Okay, cool, no problem. We don't have to be together anymore." Lying through his fucking teeth. And then simply being like, "Oh, well, what I'm gonna do is I'll find out her mom's phone number, and that way I can get in contact with her again because she's ghosting me," which is weird as fuck. What are you doing at that point? Then homeboy gets in contact with her somewhat. I'm guessing finds out where she lives, because then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna jerk off in all these underwears and I'm gonna send them to her." What? Bro. What? Bruh. You are maddeningly weird. Yeah, and then threatens the dude at knife point. You know, homeboy's got a knife to his neck, and he's like, "Why did you steal her from me?" This right here is the reason why I don't like my girl going out. I understand this happened to her boyfriend, but this could have easily happened to her. Easily. I mean, it could have been a thing where she was out and homeboy, kidnaps her, you know what I mean? Throws her in a basement, whatever it is. And that's why I always say this is the reason why I don't let my significant other go out and without me, or without like at least a dude present or anything like that, because this shit happens. And thank God it didn't happen to her, because it could have been way worse. Way worse. Like, I'm talking kidnapped, thrown in a basement, sex slave type shit. Like, that's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. I cannot believe that a dude, wow. I mean, at the same time, I could kind of believe it, because it's just like, dudes are thirsty. You know what I mean? Like, they're just thirsty as hell. And that's kind of the reason why I can believe that, because it's just like, yeah, dude, they're just thirsty, man. They're thirsty. Let's see. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and change gears here. We're going to get into a little bit of life advice, I guess. All right. Can I, 28 female, be in love with someone 56 male I've never met? I, 28 female, met Sean, 56 male, over Facebook. Damn, people still use Facebook? Okay. I mean, he's 56, so maybe Facebook's kind of old, people. I ain't gonna lie to you. Over Facebook about a month ago, he messaged me first. We both love 80s glam / hair metal bands and shared music. Yeah, and shared music back and forth. Over time, our conversation became sexually explicit. I've fallen in love with each other. Oh, we've fallen in love with each other, but we've never met in person. It's kind of complicated situation. He's married and lives in another state. Sean is drop dead gorgeous, sweet, and sincere. His words melt my heart. I feel a deep connection with him that I've never felt with anyone else. My friend told me that I couldn't possibly love someone I've never met, and that I'm really in love with Sean, even though I've never met him. Yo, that is a wild scenario. Like, they met on Facebook. Dude is like far older than her. She's only 28 and he's 56. I think she's in love with like an idea of him. I don't think that okay, because they haven't met, I think that's the big thing right there. They have not met. I feel like the moment she actually meets him in person, she's not really going to be in love with him as much as she thought she was. She's going to be like, ooh, maybe I let my imagination run a little too wild. Maybe, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not possible. Most definitely, I'm sure it could be possible that she could fall for this dude and, you know, actually have feelings for him, so on and so forth. But, and I get it, when it's online, it's a little less superficial, you know, because it's more like about who the person is and not how they look and what they have and things like that. But I think once those things come into play, she's going to change her mind big time. She's going to be like, ooh, maybe I don't like dude the way I thought I did. Maybe I'm not really interested in him like that. Oh, you know, and I'm not saying just because he's 56 he probably can't get his dick up or nothing like that. No, I'm sure, you know, he could probably still do some things to some degree, because she said their conversations got pretty sexual. So to some degree, I'm sure she has, you know, some sexual feelings for him, but I think it's just purely emotional. I highly doubt she could really, you know, fuck with him like I don't know. How would you say it? I really don't think that she is in love with the fact that, like, when they actually have sex, I think it'll just, once the physical comes in, then she's gonna be like, ooh, the emotional is there, but the physical is not. Is pretty much what I'm trying to say. I don't know. Let's see what some of the comments say, because, you know, let's see. You're not in love. In fact, why are you even entertaining someone who is already married? Exactly. That's true. I forgot about that part. He is married. Yeah, just drop this relationship before you add unnecessary stress to your life. Yeah. I don't get that. I couldn't mess with a girl who is married. I couldn't do that, because, like I said, we saw what happened with that other guy, and they weren't even dating, nothing like that. Now imagine if a dude is married, the lengths that he would go. Yeah, he'd probably shoot you cold dead on the street. You know, he wouldn't hold a knife up to your neck type shit. No, he'd probably shoot you. Like, who the fuck? You sleeping with my wife? Da, 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 da. Like, dude, no. I couldn't mess with it, man. He's going to leave for his wife. She just has to be patient. Some money might help too. That darn wife's taking everything. Don't contact him. He's in witness protection in the CIA. Deep cover. What the fuck? All right. You can't be in love with anybody you never met. You can be infatuated with them, but not in love. People often confuse infatuation, lust, and love. You don't know this person. You know of what they told you about themselves, and you're in a situation where your brain is going to fill in the empty spots with whatever it wants. to make you think this situation is good, great, destined to be. Exactly. That is exactly what I was going off of, because you have to understand that when you haven't met the person, you haven't really seen all that there is to see. So a lot of times the stuff that you don't know about, you can easily fill in the blanks and kind of get your hopes up. And yeah, woo, that's tough right there. That is tough. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into Am I the Asshole? This one is a good one. I was like, I saw only the title, so that way I could read through it with you guys. But I think this one's going to be pretty good. So, am I the asshole for not wanting my husband to sleep in the same hotel as his so-called work wife? Damn. Let's see. My husband travels a lot for work, and I recently found out one of his coworkers calls herself his work wife. My husband was the one to tell me about it, and how he wasn't really comfortable with the name, but deals with it since he doesn't want to upset her. I won't lie, hearing him say someone is calling themselves his work wife really pissed me off. That'd piss off any woman, I ain't gonna lie. Even though I know I can trust him, it makes my blood boil knowing there's a woman who's at his workplace who definitely knows he has a wife is calling themselves his work wife. My husband has to go on a trip for work, and he had told me that he has to share a room with her. Let's just call her Jenna. I told him that I wasn't comfortable with him sleeping in the same hotel room as Jenna, and he assured me that it would be just fine. I trust him with my life, so I let him go. Oh, no. Come on, man, because you know Jenna, she plotting and planning, man. She plotting and planning. She gonna get some cute ass panties. She gonna get a little loose thing. You know, she probably ain't gonna wear a bra, none of that. She gonna be on that motherfucker. She like, I want to lay it down on this motherfucker. Oh, and you let him go? Oh, damn. I feel like I shouldn't be jealous. It's such a stupid thing to be jealous about. Am I the asshole? I don't think you're the asshole. Hell nah. Because it's the same situation if the roles were reversed. It's not that you don't trust your partner. It's that you don't trust the other person. You don't trust that Jenna bitch for a second. Understandable too. Like, fuck no, I don't trust that bitch. What are you talking about here? I don't trust her. What are we talking about here? No, I do not trust her at all. Because that bitch is ridiculous. No. I don't trust her at all, because I know she gonna try to pull some shit talking about, oh, you know, your wife's not here. She doesn't have to know. And she, ooh. And the fact that she walking around, oh, you know, I'm his work wife, this and that means she is going to lay the coochie down so immaculate. I mean, God, she gonna lay that coochie down like it ain't got no business being laid down. Man, homeboy is gonna nut 2-3 times. That coachie's gonna be so ridiculously good, because you gotta understand, man. she look at it like, I'm auditioning for this spot and I want it. That spot is mine. I'm about to smack that schmeat up so good to where you gonna divorce your wife right then and there. Or you at least gonna be thinking about it. Man. Oh, Jesus. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. Brought my sister's kid a pair of boxers. Is she overreacting? My nephew is trans, and I've known this a few years now. I've watched him grow up, and he often comes over on the weekends when his mother is spending time with her husband at his house. And so he's fairly close to me and my wife. Okay, so I'm saying, I think since he's trans, he went from being his niece to now his nephew, is what I'm getting at. He's always asked to borrow my clothes, even when he was a young kid. At first, I laughed about it and then gave him some of my clothes from when I was a little boy. Keep in mind that I didn't call him transsexual or by a male name at this point. I fully thought he was a tomboy. A few years go by, I don't have a problem with it since I have a lot of spare clothes from when I was younger. Though I don't think they're in fashion anymore. I offered to get him a gift card for him to buy his own clothes, but he immediately refused, and now looking back at it, it's almost likely to do with how conservative my sister is. So I continued to let him do this. When he turned 11, he confided to me about some internal problems he had relating to his sex, and also how he'd like to be called a male name. I wasn't too surprised, but was skeptical of whether or not I should encourage him in that behavior. But I figured that if not doing so made him distressed, then there was no harm in calling him he and by a different name, even if it was hard to get it right at the time. He's turning 15 now, and in the last couple of years, I've gotten used to it. I now have a special pile of clothes I wore when I was a teenager, and he can pick what he wants. And when he comes over to my house on the weekends, he asked to show me how to shave his face a few months ago. And since his dad isn't in the picture, and because he isn't close to his stepfather, I thought, why not show him, and complied. My sister doesn't like his identity and discourages it from what she tells me. She also used him. Yeah. Still, she's also used to him wearing my shirts and jeans at this point. The problem happened the other day when he asked for boxers. Technically, I didn't buy them, but I gave him 10 quid and went and told him to pick some from the shop. I didn't think my sister would have had a problem with it since she knows that his clothing style is more manly, but she thought this was way too far and was a breach of her trust. Am I in the wrong here? I mean, I think it's just an issue with his mom, if I'm being honest with you, because it's like, look, man, that's your kid at the end of the day. You got to love your kid regardless of what they want to be and who they are and all of it. I mean, you just got to love them. I mean, if they're homosexual, if they're asexual, if they're transsexual, if they feel they're the opposite gender, whatever the case may be, I feel like you should let them explore and do the things that they want to do, because sometimes those kids will think that that's what they want because they see it on social media and they see other people that they may like follow and things like that. And they see maybe that's what they want and whatnot, and then they try and then they're kind of like, that's not what I wanted. Or maybe some kids think they're gay, they try to have sex or even date the same gender, and then they're like, actually I don't like this. Or the other way around too, where they think, I have to be straight, and so then they try to date the opposite gender, and then they realize, I'm actually more attracted to the other gender. It's just one of those things where, as a parent, I feel like you should just be supportive regardless. And the fact that he has a supportive adult in his life, I think is extremely crucial, man. It's extremely crucial. It's sad how parents are not just being supportive. They don't have to be accepting of it. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to sit there and act like this is what you should be doing. Why are you not doing what I think you should be doing? Like, why do they have those thoughts? I don't know. And a lot of people look at it like, but that's when they grew up and times have changed and this and that. And I get that 100%. But regardless of when you as the parent grew up, and regardless of the time changing and society and all this other bullshit, you should support your child regardless. I think you should support your child regardless, no matter what they want to do, no matter what they want to be. You just be that support, because you got to understand, man, the world is going to be against them already. The world is going to be against them just for a lot of times being a minority, being African American, being Mexican. That alone is tough, let alone, being homosexual and transsexual and all this other stuff. So it's like to have just a little bit of support on the back end, like, it's kind of nice. Somebody they can kind of go to as like their parent. It's like, I would think parents want to be cheerleaders for their kids. Like, that's just, I don't know, that's kind of wild to me. I just yeah, I don't think he's the asshole. I think the mom is definitely an asshole. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Ooh, am I the asshole for wanting a divorce after cancer? I, 35 female, and my husband, 36 male, have been married for 8 years, together for 11. We've got 2 kids, 6 and 8. Last year, I was diagnosed with cancer. Although the treatment was brutal, I pulled through, or so it seems for now. The truth is, things have not been going smooth for the past 5 years or so. I have been trying to fit in what my husband sees as an ideal life, living in remote locations and adjusting my life to make it work for us as a family. His dream is to live by the ocean, far from people. I'm a city girl. For the sake of making it work for both of us, I've taken jobs that are well below my abilities. For him, though, it does look like it's what I wanted. Okay. It was because at that point, it was because at that point, it was the only available thing given the compromise. My husband was living his dream life, not even realizing that my resentment was building up. I did bring this up many times, but he was dismissive. Things blew up 2 times. He saw me flirting with other guys. I've never even kissed anyone before, but it was an emotional betrayal probably. Okay. I gave up alcohol 3 years ago to make sure I'm always in control and don't do stupid shit that can ruin my relationship. That's a W on you, girl. My husband is a great father. I've never had a father like that. He loves our children and they have a great relationship. So do I with my kids. But he isn't a great partner. He asks me every day about my day, but never really listens to what I say. He keeps talking about his work, but doesn't notice me. He makes a lot more than me, 7 to 10 times, but insists that we pay everything 50-50. Oh, brother. What? Oh my, what? To keep it fair. During the past years, I've been covering more expenses than him, and I was working full-time during my treatment. He never offered to pay for any extras in his book. There were years, my pregnancies, when I was paying less. So now it's fair that I pay more. I don't feel emotionally connected to him at all. Damn, she broke up with him in her head. And I don't want to have sex with him. I have a history of abuse and I need an emotional connection to enjoy sex. But for the past 5 years, he's been only touching me if and when he needs sex. I've given in so many times and cried after because it felt like I've betrayed myself, but I had to do it because he needs it and I'm a spouse. So now I've been contemplating divorce for over 8 months. I'm out of treatment and I don't know if I'm going to stay healthy for a long time, but I'm tired of compromises. He is a nice guy, but we're planning to start a therapy, but I just want to live a new life. Therapy seems like a burden to me. Am I the asshole for wanting a divorce? Damn. Oh, man. Okay. Wow. I'm glad that she got through the cancer and that her husband was supportive and, helped her out through that. That's a really great thing. My biggest thing is he makes so much more money than her. why is it that they're going 50-50? I think that is very retarded. I do. I think it's a thing where, as a man, if you're making that much more money than your girl or than your wife, you should be fitting the bills, especially if she's dealing with cancer and all these kind of things. Yeah, she should definitely be paying less, or if that, nothing. You know, I don't really understand his mindset in that. You know, I guess he looks at it like, well, if you want to work, then you could pay for stuff. I don't know. She said he makes 7 to 10 times more than her. So it's like, bro, you make a lot of money. And I think it's a thing where you need to step up and actually just pay for that stuff, because that 50-50 is just, that's ridiculous to me. That is ridiculous, especially, you know, when your wife is going through cancer, she's going through so much, and she's kind of dealing with everything that she's dealing with. That's tough, you know. Now, on the man side of things, I don't really understand why she, aside from the 50-50 stuff and maybe the cancer things, why she is so unhappy in her relationship, because she has a good guy. She has a guy that, you know, is a good father, a good thing. And I think she only perceives him as a bad partner because maybe she's not getting what she wants out of the relationship. And because, you know, she wants to live in the city and all that kind of stuff. But it's just like, why can't you just be happy being in a family that works, you know? And then, you know, she doesn't want to go to therapy and stuff like that. But honestly, I would give it a shot, especially if he's wanting to, you know, willing to do it, because a lot of guys aren't willing to do it. So I think if he's willing to do it, give it a shot. Why not? You know, go ahead, do your thing, give it a shot. But I wouldn't just give up on a marriage, you know, just because you're a little unhappy here and you're a little unhappy there. You know what I mean? And then you can tell she's a very party girl, because she's like, oh, I'm a city girl and I've given up alcohol and stuff like that. So you could tell she was out in the clubs a lot. You can tell she was doing that kind of stuff. And I think for him, he wants to take her away from all that stuff while she kind of still wants to be in that or go back to it, whatever the case may be. I don't know. I'm just taking the information that's given and, you know, putting something to it. But it's just like why would you give up a great marriage? You know what I mean? And then split. Like, your kids are still young, so why would you split up? You know, and I'm not saying stay for the kids, but it's just like there's worse relationships. You know what I mean? And I think it's one of those things where it's because she's not getting what she wants. She's not getting what she wants in the relationship, so she feels like it should just end, regardless of the kids, regardless of, you know, her well-being and stuff like that. Because if I'm being honest with you, I don't think she would be able to handle cancer on her own like that, as far as like monetarily, or just even like God, what is the word I'm looking for? Just having a support, you know what I mean? Because her husband obviously supported her through all of this, which is great, you know, and I think that's why, you know, she was able to get through it so smoothly. But it's like, she doesn't know if she's gonna go into remission or if cancer is gonna come back. She doesn't know. And so it's one of those things where it's like, if it does come back, it's going to be a lot harder for you to see your kids, to be able to spend time with them, you know, and then keep on top of, you know, doctor bills and all that kind of stuff that comes with cancer and the treatments and everything. I just feel like it's going to be way too much on her. And she's going to be kind of begging for that relationship back, because it's like, I get it. You're not happy now, but that doesn't mean you won't be the same way, you know, 6 months down the road, a year later. Like, these are things I feel like you could fix, if I'm being honest with you. You know, she feels like she's probably compromising a lot more than he is. But I mean, I would argue he's probably compromising just as much, you know, because Think about it. All the compromises and sacrifices he had to make to take care of you while you were dealing with cancer. Like, he had to do that. And I'm sure he did those things out of love, and he did those things because he knew he had to do it. He was like, the relationship kind of sucks right now, but it's not going to always be that way. It's going to get better. It's going to be better down the road, 6 months to a year later, when she beats this, because I'm supporting her, I'm taking care of the kids, helping her out, and doing all this kind of stuff, making sure that she gets through this. And it's one of those things where she can't do it on the reciprocating end. She can't get through this tough patch with him and look at it like, all right, things are shitty now, but I'm going to do things to make it better but she's just looking at all the crap that makes her unhappy. And it's like, dude, come on, that's messed up. Now, like I said, it's an L for the dude, because I'm like, dude, why are you making your girl go 50-50 when you make 7 to 10 times more money than she does? I think that's an L, and that's retarded. And the thing is she an asshole for wanting a divorce? Yes, you are. Because relationships are going to have their ups and downs. And the relationship is bad now, but it's not always going to be like that. It's not always going to be like that. It's going to be a thing where there's going to be a time when the relationship gets back on its feet and it's good again. And I think she just doesn't want to wait for that, So, all right, we're going to get into our last situation here. All right, am I the asshole for keeping my wife on a short leash after she cheated on me? Me 30 male, wife 31 female. After 5 years, cheated on me last year with her friend when she was out with her friend group. Damn. She used to this often, but always came back at around 12 a.m. or midnight. But this time she came home very late at around 5 a.m. and drunk, and I didn't press the issue that night. She was distant and I didn't talk much. She didn't talk much to me. Golly, people need to fix their fucking grammar. Like, she didn't much talk to me. Like, bro, she didn't talk to me much. like just write it out better. Afterwards, the next few days, I only found out a couple days later when she confessed to cheating after I kept asking her why she was so cold to me. I was shocked. I never liked the fact that she went out to bars and clubs, and that's your L right there. But she never gave me a reason to distrust her until that night. I immediately grabbed a bag, packed some stuff, and left, and she was begging me to talk about it, but I wasn't in the mood for it. I was angry, upset, sad. I know that I wasn't in the right headspace for this kind of talk, so I stayed with a friend. Fast forward a few days later, I agreed to talk to her. She said she was so sorry and would never happen again, and that she would do anything to make me stay. I spent the time I was away thinking of staying or leaving, and I hate the fact that I still love her. We don't have kids together, but part of me still wanted to stay. I gave her certain conditions if she wanted to stay. First one is to never see the man she cheated on me with ever again. Second was that I could see her phone and computer at any time I wanted without having to ask. The last one was that she could no longer go out to bars or clubs without me. She agreed to this. Over the last year, she's been estranged from her friend group because she can't go out with them without seeing the man she cheated on me with, and she hasn't really made any new friends. I haven't checked her phone or computer either. I know she likes to go out, so I try my best to go out with her when I have time. The bar and club scene was never my thing, but I try to enjoy it with her. Things haven't been the same as before, and I've thought of losing the she can't go out with me rule, but I keep thinking of what she did. I've explained this to my friend, and she said she should just divorce her if I can't trust her anymore. I've thought about it. I wasn't as happy as I used to be. She says she's happy with me around, but she isn't as energetic as she used to be. So am I the asshole? Yeah. I do not think he is the asshole at all. No. Because these rules honestly should have been set in the first place. For one, she shouldn't be going out to bars and clubs and doing all this stuff when she's married. Why? Because her friends are single and shit like that? No. Two, I kind of understand why he let it happen, because it's a thing where it's like, okay, there's a guy there, so if any weird dudes show up or anything like that, he can kind of handle that. He could be there to kind of be the protector and just kind of ward off those dudes, and but at the same time, you gotta understand, man, guy friends are trying to fuck, and this dude got his opportunity. And that's why a lot of women call that controlling, though. A lot of women say, oh, he tried to control me and he doesn't want me to do anything and I can't have fun and this and that. And it's just like, ladies, you kind of got to understand that when you're in a relationship, there's no more having fun. There's no more doing all this kind of stuff, because you're in a relationship now. You have someone else to think about. It's not just you. It's not just you anymore. You have somebody to think about now. And a lot of women just feel like they don't have to think about their significant other. It's like, oh, it's whatever. And when they make these fucking mistakes, it's only then when they allow this controlling to happen. And it's like, dude, this should have been there in the beginning. I probably wouldn't have trusted the guy friend. Fuck no. I wouldn't have trusted the guy friend. And I would have told her that from the get-go. Like, hey, look, I understand you're going out with your friends and you have a dude there, and that's fine to kind of protect you from the creeps and, the dudes that want to follow you out of the bar or can't, take no for an answer. I understand that. But you got to know, I don't trust that dude. My thing is, the moment she told me that she cheated, I would have just left. It would have been hard. It would have been the worst pain ever in my life. It would have been just horrible. All this stuff. I would have just left. Because now you're just going to sit in that and just think like, fuck, it's over now. The relationship's not the same. I can't trust her. I'm going out when I really don't care to fucking go out, because I'm going out for her. And then it's not his scene anyway. He doesn't really care to be at bars and clubs and stuff like that. My thing is, girl, why are you out at bars and clubs when you got a man? What are you doing? That is baffling to me. It makes no sense and it's retarded. Like, why are you out in bars and clubs when you got a man? That's ridiculous. And like I said, a lot of girls look at that as controlling. They look at it like, oh, I can't do anything, and you just want to keep me inside and I'm bored and all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, no, it's for this shit. Yes, does it happen all the time? No, but there's a possibility. And now he sees it. I can guarantee you, if he does leave her, it's going to be a thing where the next girl that he's with, he's going to have those boundaries on her. And it sucks, because it's going to look like it's being controlling, and it's going to look like he's being, toxically masculine and all this other bullshit buzz terms that they like to spew out when, a guy has standards for a woman. It's like, bro, I'm responsible for you, so I have to keep you in check. And so you don't do stupid shit like this. You know what I mean? Like the previous situation, that girl, she was like, her man was smart for one and took her out of the city and was like, look, you getting taken out of the city because I already know what type of girl you're like. Two, I'm glad that she was like, I quit alcohol and all that kind of stuff because I don't want to do something dumb that could ruin my relationship. She knew. She was cognizant of that shit. She was like, I know, because I know me, and if I get drunk, I'm going to make a mistake and it's going to ruin my relationship, and I don't even want to do that. And so it's going to be tough for you, brother, but that's going to be the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed all the situations and scenarios that we covered today. If you guys can do me a big favor and go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. YouTube has been tough for you, boy. TikTok, Spotify, even a little bit of Patreon has been. Actually, I want to go ahead and shout out our Patreons here, because we do have a few of you guys. No Tip 2144. and Raxroid, Raxoid, Raxroid. And then we have Julia Ann Morris. Thank you guys for subbing to the Patreon. That is super awesome. I would love to be able to get more patrons on there, because those patrons actually sent in their scenarios that got covered on some previous episodes. So Patreon guys, definitely check out the Patreon for exclusive episodes. If you guys are on the go, we are on Spotify now. I'm trying to get everything caught up to the most recent episodes, but there are already close to, I would say, 15 or so episodes already on there that you can go check out, and those are a lot of the older episodes. Check us out on TikTok for clips, as well as Instagram. Follow us on there. And thank you guys so much for all the support. Everything's been super wonderful, super great. Let's keep it going, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.